meaning the technology been going crazy. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, it's cameras everywhere. Everything is being watched. You know what I'm saying? It's like it ain't no getting away from this shit. Everything is being watched. Ring cameras, cameras, on buildings, facial recognitions, cameras on street poles, you know. And then you got to think about these Teslas. These Teslas got all type of cameras all around them. Think about the Julio Fulio murder. You go back on that murder and you see the tape where those guys ran up on them. One of those cameras was from a Tesla that was parked in that parking lot that caught that murder. You got cars that got you on camera. You know what I'm saying? Like today's world is different. And like they said in the beginning of that first video, they caught three of them walking down the alley. Facial recognition. You know what I'm saying? This not the 80s no more. You're not getting away with it. They have facial recognition in every city, every state, everywhere you go. Facial recognition. So these guys, they gonna get caught. It's facial recognition. They have to come outside one day somehow, some way, and they gonna get caught because there's cameras everywhere that have facial recognition. So no matter where they at or how far they got, they're going to get caught. Facial recognition. They don't gotta hunt them down, even though they do got a manhunt out for them and all of that. They don't gotta do that. It's facial recognition. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of things wrong with this situation, man. It's a lot of things wrong with this situation. And the end result is gonna be everybody that was involved in this is looking like it's a good 10 to 15 people already that's involved with this whole situation. And it's gonna result with all of them getting time. It was all a loss. It wasn't worth nothing. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, for the guys that, did escape, them guys, they had time. You know what I'm saying? That's why they escaped, you know. And for the other five that's still on the run, you know what I'm saying? Shit. If you ask me, you would probably think they out here living it up. You know what I'm saying? If you ask me, I say they somewhere nervous, scared. You know what I'm saying? They looking over their shoulder every 2 seconds. Whoever is harboring them is on their heads telling them, hey, you gotta get up out of here because they about to run up in my crib. Woo, you gonna get caught here. They gonna take me to jail, blah, blah, blah. Like, them other five guys, they is not living the life that you think they is. You know what I'm saying? Like, they real life is sweating. Like how they say, don't let them see you sweat. Them guys is sweating bullets, big bullets. You know what I'm saying? And they know they gonna get caught. So the only thing they can do is enjoy the little bit of freedom of not sitting in the cell. As of right now, that's all they get to enjoy is the fact that they're not sitting in the cell. Even though they sitting up in a house, a shed, a garage, wherever they at, they ducking. You know what I'm saying? And they gonna have to come out one day. And when they come out, that camera gonna catch them. Facial recognition. Done. They faces planted all over the news, everywhere. They know how to feed them cameras and say, hey, when you see this face, let us know. Let me tell y'all something real quick, right? So this was some years ago, about like 6, 7 years ago, right? My brother had rented a car, right? And long story short on all that, he stopped paying on it. He had the car for like a month. And after that, he just stopped paying on it. You know what I'm saying? So, they telling him to return the car and all of this. And he like, man, fuck that. I'm not returning the car, none of that. He just put it in the garage, right? I'm like, look, I'm like, well, if you ain't driving, let me drive that motherfucker. Just so happened my car was in the shop at this point. You know what I'm saying? He like, I don't care. I ain't driving that bitch and I ain't giving it back to him. I'm like, all right, cool. You know what I'm saying? So, boom, I jump in the car. I was in the car for 24 hours. No bullshit. I pulled up to a light. A cop was coming the opposite way of me. The cop is the opposite way of me. He busts a U-turn, jumped behind me, pulled me over. He ain't had no words, none of that. Him and his cop friend, they instantly took me out the car, threw me in cuffs, threw me in the back seat. I'm like, what's up? Even though I know I'm in the stoley, you know what I'm saying? But I'm thinking, that's the company thing. I ain't thinking nothing with the police, So I'm like, what y'all got me cuffed up for? What's up? In the cop car, they got that laptop that sit, on their dash. On the laptop, he like had it turned away from you, the cop in the passenger car. He had it like turned away from you. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what did y'all got me in handcuffs for? What's up? You know what I'm saying? The other cop that was driving, he was still stripping the car. So the cop that was in the passenger, he was like, you know what? I'm gonna tell you what's up. He turned the camera around to like face, the laptop, to like face me now. And on the laptop, I see the car that I was in. It was a camera on the cop car that caught that license plate of the car that I was in. Because the cop cars, they got like 10 cameras all around their car. You know what I'm saying? And they had one specific camera just for stolen cars. And that one camera, it got a very sensitive sensor on it. So when they catch a stolen license plate, that camera direct a target on it. Boom. And when it showed the car that I was in, it showed the license plate and it showed a big red circle drawn around it. Like this was on the camera. You know what I'm saying? He like, this is how we knew you was in a stolen car. He like, you going to jail for this stolen car. But he like, this is how we knew. Because our camera told us that you was in the stolen car. I was like, yeah, because y'all busted U-turn on me. You know what I'm saying? He was like, yeah, this it. He was like, I ain't supposed to be telling you, but this is it. Boom. It just told me how advanced technology is. So I'm thinking I'm, doing some little low key shit, riding around and, this little rental. It ain't like I stole somebody's car. I ran up on nobody, just start making the payments on it. And the police had a camera that caught that shit and towed the car and took me to jail. They was trying to get me to tell on my brother, but I was like, I don't know where he at. I was like, all I know was this car was in the garage and the key was on the seat. So I jumped in the car and I pulled off. I ain't seen my brother in a year. I don't know where he at. I just seen this car in the garage. I pulled off. You know what I'm saying? I promise you. They took me to the police department. They processed me in. They let me right back out. You know what I'm saying? They never came at my brother or none of that. So this was nothing like that. But just to say, like, that's how advanced the technology is. You know what I'm saying? So if they can catch a stolen car from a rental company, you know what I'm saying, that just missed some payments. If they can catch that, they can catch a escapee from prison walking down the street, getting in a car, going to a store. If they want you, they're going to get you. And they didn't already caught half of them. You know what they doing with them? They got them in that turtle suit. They got them in Bam Bam. They about to put them on some medicine. You know what they on? Hey, where the mother guys at? What's the operation? What y'all got going on? They getting questioned all day, every day. You know what I'm saying? It's not a party in their mind. It's real reality. And the reality is that these guys just put on the show for everybody. That's all it was. because they about to go through hell. You know what I'm saying? They think they was already going through it. They really about to go through it now. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all escaped prison. Y'all are bam bam patients. Y'all about to get put on psych meds. And they gonna make sure that y'all take that medication. Cause y'all are crazy in the mind for escaping an institution. You don't do that. And for those guys that they do, got an out date, when they go see the parole board gonna flop their ass. You know what I'm saying? All because they have an escape on a record. Parole board ain't gonna never let them out. You know what I'm saying? All of this was just a show, man. It was stupid, man. But again, like I said, if they got a lot of time, they know they ain't about to come home, then okay, I understand, But if any of them, like didn't have that much time or they crime wasn't that big or whatever, man, they could. And I could just about guarantee that it ain't no guys that got a little amount of time that was in on that escape. Because guys that don't got time like that, they don't get involved in that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? That's just straight crash out type shit. You know what I'm saying? So what's the lesson here, Mr. Roll Up? Lesson is this. Just get out the streets. You know what I'm saying? Just be done with it. Because you see these guys, they played the streets. They thought shit was real and they got put in prison and they had to escape. That's just how real it is in there. They had to escape that shit. You know what I'm saying? Even though they know what they up against for escaping it, they still did it anyway. Even if it was just to get an hour of fresh air, they still had to do that because the reality kicked in. Yeah, you in this bitch. It's real in here. It ain't no party. You know what I'm saying? You ain't who you was in the street. You ain't that in there. You're done. You know what I'm saying? So again, the lesson is learn from them. They escaped prison, man. That alone tell you prison is not where you want to be. So if you doing anything that could lead you down to that prison road, this is the reality of it. Them guys, they not trying to go there. They trying to escape from there. And you see these guys just did that. They escaped, and half of them already caught. They gonna bring in the other half. It's about to be a big ass case. It's about to be a lot behind this. They already said this was like the biggest escape, like American history or whatever the hell they said. But they said this is like the biggest escape. You know what I'm saying? So they about to set some examples. You could believe that. You know what I'm saying? So again, hopefully this is just a wake up call, a learning lesson. Like, hey, get out the street life or the criminal life, whatever it is you're doing, let that shit go because this right here, this is what you gonna be up against. These guys escape. They letting it be known that is not where they want to be. They put their life on the line to be free. You know what I'm saying? Just for 20, 30 minutes, whatever. This is why I said you could be the brokest guy in the world. You know what I'm saying? But if you free, you doing better than a lot of people in life. A lot. Little do you know. Because it's guys like this that don't have no freedom. And they putting their life on the line to get just a piece of your freedom. You know what I'm saying? It's reality, man. Be humble, stay out the way, live your life. It's gonna get greater later, man. It's been another episode of Roll Up a Power Up. So get your blunts rolled and your drink poured.